So what's the difference between a trial by combat and a trial of 7? A trial by combat is basically, essentially, 9 times out of 10, it's between two people. It's like a duel. Sometimes it's a fight to the death, sometimes it's a fight until one party yields, but it's usually 1 versus 1. You'll have the accused and you'll have somebody as a representative of, like, the crown, for example. You can demand a trial by combat, anyone can, at any point, even in the middle of your trial. So when Tyrion's like, I demand a trial by combat, he's well within his rights. The belief is that in a trial by combat, the gods will bless whoever is meant to be victorious. Whoever should be righteous, the gods will surely see this and they will bless that person and that person will prevail. That's the thinking behind this. And if you win, you basically get to walk away innocent. Trials by combat only really seem to include men, but it can be applied to highborn ladies accused of something. And in that situation, they would have a proxy or a champion of their own. A man would fight for them. Also, if you're like too old to fight, if you were like, you know, in your later years, you can then have somebody else fight for you. If you're like injured, if you're not able to physically represent yourself, if it can't be seen as a fair fight, then you are allowed to have somebody fight in your place. Trials by combat, I mean, I wouldn't say they're like common. I mean, they don't happen every single day, but you know, they happen every now and again. They are not uncommon, but trials of 7 are. They're pretty rare. We only have 2 examples of them ever happening. The concept of a trial of 7, similarly to a trial by combat, it's all to do with the gods, but this time it's all 7 faces of the gods. That the faith of the 7 with their 7 faces, that all of the gods will watch this display and will weigh in, and that it would carry more weight, and that the person who will be victorious, whether it be the accused or whether it be the people accusing, whichever way it falls, it's the right thing because the gods have deemed it so. That's the thought process behind this trial of 7. So you have 14 combatants in total, 7 versus 7. And the thought is that the gods will witness this melee, this fight, and whatever happens, it's the gods' will. They will see that whoever should win does. It doesn't really come into it that sometimes physical strength sometimes wins out. Sometimes good people die in trials of 7. The first trial of 7 we know of concerns Maegor the Cruel, and he had 6 other people around him making up his 7, and he fought 7 representatives of the faith because that's who he was beefing with. Now, Maegor survives this trial of 7, but he winds up in a coma. And he took a serious blow to the head. And in some A Song of Ice and Fire circles, it's wondered, did that do something permanently to Maegor's brain? Is that why he became the way he became? It makes you wonder. The second trial of 7 is something we will see on A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. And I'm not going to say any more about it because it'll give away too much juicy detail. But let me just say this. I think it's going to be cool to see. I think it's going to be a cool bunch of participants. There's going to be some badass armor. People are going to look great. It's going to be some sass, some back chat, some bitching between the two sides. I'm ready for it. And the belief is that the gods will watch over you. And if you are meant to win, you will. So in essence, the difference between a trial by combat and a trial of 7 is the numbers. But one thing that is consistent is this presence of the gods, this belief of like divine intervention, that the gods will deem whoever should succeed will succeed, and that they've succeeded because they're righteous. If 7 gods watching you and you lose, it's a damning indictment of your guilt. But if 7 gods are watching and you succeed, then that is seen as pretty high praise, like, oh, the gods are looking out for you. That is the kind of judicial system that we have in Westeros. It's very medieval, and the burden of proof doesn't really come into it all that often.